It's rolling. Sorry, I'm late. It's been so fucking hot here, and just sort of like muggy, just like that, where the air feels like it's just thick, it's just heavy with heat. Heavy with heat. I rolled me up a big old fat joint, and I'm about to smoke that sucker down right now. Yep. I don't know why I called my stream inversion. I just couldn't think of anything. I figured Dr. Bass Ackwards, well, that kind of implies an inversion. But I'm re-inverting things, to put them straightforward. In a world of upside down Bass Ackwards clown fucking kooks, you gotta just sort of look at it from the other angle if you want to see what's really going on. What is really going on? What's really going on? Anybody know? What the fuck is really going on? I'll tell you. Just a bunch of crazy people doing crazy things. Justin Johnson, what's good, my brother? One thing I just don't think really checks out about having a 24-hour sun in Antarctica is the fact that it's fucking ice, like 2 miles fucking thick ice. You would think if you had like a fucking full entire season of nothing but sun, that you wouldn't have a 2 mile thick piece of ice sitting there, right? Am I wrong? That's kind of where I fall off on that whole thing. I mean, I just, I just have a hard time with that one. I guess they just kind of get away with it because there's not that many people living down. As far as like claiming that that's a reality, is it's like there's not that many people living out in the south, outward. Like what people need to realize is that, well, there's a lot of things people need to realize. Like if you were to just consider the ground and forget about the sky for a minute, just the land. Like if you were to start like in the northernmost, the centermost part of the world, like most people are in the northern hemisphere, right? So if you're just going to start like towards the centermost place that you can find, and then you just start spiraling outward on the ground, your spiral is only going to get bigger, right? Duh. How could you think of it? It would anything else would happen? Like your spiral is only going to get bigger. You're just going around the lap you just made, making another lap. The lap's going to be bigger the next time around because you're going around the outside of your previous one. You're never doing anything other than that, just circling around the outside of your previous lap. So, of course, it's going to be a bigger lap. And you just keep making bigger and bigger laps, spiraling outward. You started right here, and you started walking in a spiral on the ground, moving outward, away from your center location, expanding out, which is, I guess, what we're supposed to think the sun is doing, right? And so, therefore, you got to imagine this, like all that area that you've already spiraled over, you're not going back over that area. You're moving outward. It's a really simple formula you're following here. You're just moving along your spiral, your pattern, your path you're making. And it's like you're lapping around the outside of your last lap. So you're just making a bigger lap around. It's bigger every time you go around. That's just all you're going to be doing here. So it's like you're always going to find that your last lap was bigger than the one before that. And like if the sun is doing the same thing above us, going in circles, I guess is what we're supposed to think. I think it's doing, or maybe that's what the flat Earth indicates. But just think about it. We do have 24 hours of sun in the northernmost point, right? There's plenty of proof for that. So it's not always there. So it's like you got to think about it. It's like that's where it does its 24-hour thing, and then it starts spiraling outward, and then we got our seasons that way, because it moves outward, and so the parts of the world that weren't getting as much sun while it was in there in the middle, getting 24 hours of light, now it's moving out towards those outer areas. The spiral that you think about, because we're always trying to like say like don't look at the sky to think about the ground. But like, and that's a good point. But it's like here in the case where we're talking about what the sun's doing and what, like, if we were to try to picture what the sun's path is, but like apply it to the ground, like, dude, I'm talking like inversion here. Like, we're always talking about like, you don't look at the sky to figure out what the ground is. Okay, well, let's apply the sky to the ground instead of, or like, what, hold on, just let me, I'm getting at something here. Let's say we take the sun's alleged motion and then try to apply that down to the ground. Like, it's going to be in 24 hours of light in the northernmost point, which is what we've seen that there's proof of that. So then it's going to spiral out to the equator. Like, if we're making a spiral on the ground, that spiral is only going to get bigger, only going to get bigger. How would it get smaller? How would you ever start to make a smaller? I just want to know. I mean, yeah, I know if you live on the globe, blah, 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 blah. I'm just talking about like reality though. Like, if you're just walking on the ground, let's just say the Earth was all dirt. So it's easier to picture. It's like you start spiraling out, your spiral is only going to get bigger, right? And that's what the sun's spiral is going to have to do too. Am I right? Am I wrong? It's spiraling out. It's going bigger and bigger, right? Moving all the way out. It's got to cover all this outer area that was neglected while it was doing its 24-hour light in the northernmost point. So how in the fuck is that ever going to translate to like? How are you ever going to get a smaller spiral? Is what I want. Like, we're supposed to think that somehow you're going to spiral back down into it on the other end of the world, but in reality, all that's going to be happening is you're just going to be making a bigger and bigger spiral. If you're moving out from the center point, spiraling out, boom, 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 it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. At the point where you get to these fucking the furthest most outer region where there's like 2 mile thick pieces of ice, that would indicate that that's an area that doesn't get as much sun. Like, that's an area that's not getting the same amount of sun as the rest of the Earth. You don't see 2 mile thick pieces of ice anywhere else on Earth. That's kind of like anomalous, right? Am I wrong? Like, where else are you going to find a 2 mile thick piece of ice? That's like over 10,000 feet of ice. I mean, that's significant. There's other cold places in the world, I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's anomalous. That's crazy. That's crazy. So likely that would be the area that's, the biggest, the furthest, most biggest, the last lap you're going to make on your spiral. You're not going to go much further than that. That's the outermost, furthest region. And of course, it's going to be 2 miles thick feet of ice right past that, because that's the biggest circle the sun makes. Right past that, you don't get any sun, so it's going to be all ice. Now, to think that somehow, it's like if you're taking your spiral path on the ground, now how are you going to make that spiral start to go smaller and then shrink back down to the other side of the world? How's that going to look in real life? How are you going to make a smaller lap, a shorter lap around the outside of your previous one? How's that going to work? It's just so fishy, man. It's like there's no way in hell you're going to get a 24-hour sun on the furthest out, outer expand. It's like that's the biggest circle you're going to make. It's not like you start making bigger circles, bigger circles, bigger circles, bigger circles, and whoa, now the circles are getting smaller. I don't think so. It doesn't make sense. Well, if you lived on a globe, it would make sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. There's some logistical things about living on a globe. There's some things that would have to happen if you live on a globe. Like, if you were to imagine, see, they say east and west are circles on the flat earth and on the globe. They say the east and west are circles. That is an understood fact. East and west are circles. They want you to believe that north and south are circles too, but they're straight lines. Like on a compass is flat for one thing, and it's pointing north and it's pointing south. That needle is a straight line, indicating that north and south are straight lines. The compass is a circle, correcting the north. So that's indicating that east and west are circles. So now that you've conceived of what the compass is implying, it's basically a model of Earth. It's flat, and the north and south are a straight line. It's a needle, and then the circle of the compass. Use the compass to make a circle. So there's east and west circles going around the centermost point. I know most people that watch this already know all this shit, but I'm just saying it's like so you're making circles and keep getting bigger. All that area that's within those circles, it's always going to be there. Make a bigger circle. All that area is still in there. Bigger circle. Of course, that area is always going to be in the middle of your circle, right? Circles get bigger and bigger and bigger. You get to the equator, that's a circle too, then, I guess, right? It's got to be. You started off with a circle. How's it not going to be a circle when you're done? So check it out. What is the equator circling? If it's a circle, then what's inside of it? Because you're working your way out from so you got the North Pole, and then you're moving further out, and you got all these other countries and stuff inside your circle. It's getting bigger and bigger. All that area is within your circle. You finally make it down to the equator. That's a big circle, the biggest circle you're supposedly going to be able to make. And so what's inside of that circle? Well, if you started in the north, I would think that it's going to be the northern hemisphere inside that circle. However, you could also think that, perhaps it's the southern hemisphere that's inside that circle. Well, you can't have two completely different regions inside the same circle. You're not going to get that. It's not reality. You can't do that. So I'm probably confusing you at this point. But like if you were to just keep working your way out, bigger and bigger circles, you get down to the equator. Well, now you got like half the world. You own half the world inside your circle. And say it's the northern hemisphere. Now you take one step south of the equator, make another circle, and it's going to be smaller according to the globe. Okay, well, how are you going to fit more space inside of a smaller circle? How's that going to work? Because you had the whole entire northern hemisphere region all encircled, and then you took another step outside of that circle, made another circle, and now it's smaller? How are you putting more area in a smaller circle? Well, you're not. Okay, well, then what's going on here? Because I just circled around the entire thing that we've been doing prior to that, so it should be within my circle, but no. Now they want you to believe that you're circling the area that you don't own. So wait, so that next circle that you're going to make is no longer going around the outside of all that stuff that we had already circled. It's going around something else. Now that circle's going around the southern hemisphere area. It gets pretty confusing. Like my riddle, it's like you only own what's in this circle. So you keep making bigger and bigger circles. Do you think you're going to eventually own the whole world? Well, yeah, you think you would, because if you just keep getting bigger and bigger, yeah, why wouldn't you eventually? Well, if you live on a globe, the most you'll ever own is half the world, because you get to the median, the halfway point. That's the biggest circle you're going to make. If you keep moving past that, it gets smaller, apparently. And if you only own what's in the circle, it's not like you're circling what you don't own. No, you only own what's in the circle. So whatever you're circling, that's what you own. You're not circling what you don't own. So you would get to the point where you get halfway down across the world. You're like, okay, we own half the world. Let's keep going. Let's own the whole place. And you move south and you make another circle. And it's like, now that circle's around a whole different area. You lost all that stuff you'd already circled. Does that make sense? No. It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. So if you're thinking about the path of the sun, it's making its circle. It starts off smaller circles in the north, and it moves out. At a certain point, you're at the equator. It's like they tell you that the star trails go across in a straight line across the sky at the equator. Like if that's all true, how the star trails work out, where it's like you're watching circles, watch them make circles, but then further south you get, the circles start getting wider, I guess. But then when you get to the equator, now the stars are just making a straight line across the sky. Is that what they do? I mean, I want to go. I want to go traveling so I can see this shit firsthand. So it's like now they're going straight, and then when you keep moving south, they're going to curve back the other way. That's interesting, man. It's like, it almost seems like good proof of the globe, but it's like all the same. It's just occurring in the sky. So we have no reason to think that like the observation of the sky can suffice as proof of the shape of the ground we're on. I mean, we can use that as evidence maybe, but like if you're going to assume the earth is a ball, that comes with a whole lot of other shit that you're going to have to deal with now. For one thing, it's going to have to be in motion now, and there's going to have to be people that are upside down in reference to each other. So now you're going to have to come up with some idea as to how that's even going to be possible. We've never seen any evidence of something like that in reality, where there's like a free floating sphere. I mean, other than the moon that we see float by, I guess, but you know, but we don't see people walking upside down on it or nothing. That's the part that I'm saying. That's the part that's kind of sketchy. Or it's like if you're going to assume that because of what you're looking at in the sky, you're going to deduce that that observation translates to this place that we stand on as being a spherical body. Well, what evidence do you have to go on there that it's possible for there to be people upside down from each other and neither of them feel like they're upside down? How are you going to explain that away? You're going to need to come up with something. You know, you're going to have to invent something that's that's holding you to the ground. It's like so you're like a magnet to the ground. You know, it's like well, people aren't magnets, and the ground isn't a magnet, so we're gonna have to come up with some sort of frou fucking something that's not measurable. Let's say that mass attracts mass. You know, it's like so if you have weight, then you're going to be pulled to the ground. Okay, but there is the whole thing about floating things in the water that float, or things that have like you know buoyancy, or like you gotta have to factor that in too. But in the sense where there's going to be people and water and like cars and everything carrying on upside down, that's just a lot to swallow, man. That's the part that really is impossible to believe. If you were trying to, if someone tried to teach you that as a grown adult, the only response would be laughter. Because it's silly. It's just silly. Because at the point when you're like a grown adult and you lived your whole life and you never had any of that crap fucking imposed on your mind, that's the last thing you're going to think of as being possible. Like, you're not going to think, oh, maybe there's people standing upside down 9,000 miles under my feet. It's not going to sound like something that's like feasible. The only reason you believe that is because you were told that when you were so young and so impressionable. You might have questioned it when you were that age. You might have been like, "What? How does that make it?" But then when people with authority, they do, "No, this is how it is." We've proven this. Okay. So you just lived your whole life. You've never seen any evidence of something like that being possible, and they try to lay it on you. Then it's not going to stick as well. I guarantee you, because people have learned how to like deduce things at that point in their life. They've learned. They've seen a lot. They've done a lot, seen a lot. They've experienced most of what this world has to offer as far as just the laws of nature that we're living within. When you try to impose some idea on a grown adult's mind, like where they're just like, you want me to think what? That there's people upside down 8,000 miles under my feet carrying on about their lives and they don't feel upside down? And to boot, like basically to them, I'm upside down. All of this is upside down. Man, that's you're gonna have to work pretty hard to prove that one. Like, I don't care what kind of measurements or sky observations that's. I'm talking about like you're gonna have to like show us that. I mean, how are you gonna do that? I mean, you're gonna have to pull us off the earth and leave, get far enough away to where we can look back at it and see these people upside down. We've done that, Dr. Bass. I don't know. That's the problem. I just kind of end up being like, well, you're gonna have to bring me there and show me. You're gonna have to take me to space and show me how that's taking place. Because I'll never, I'll never fully believe that again. I never really fully believed that, to be honest with you. Like I just felt like I had to or something. But I remember thinking about that a lot. So, like way before flat Earth came along, I remember thinking about like, so what if we just fell all the way through the Earth? At what point would we like start falling up, or we wouldn't fall up, but we'd get in the middle and we'd just get crushed? I mean, I think that's the answer. You would just get smashed into lava in the middle. But it's like, well, because of all the pressure, but it's like, let's say they're scooping out all the dirt. We're digging a hole. We're going to dig all the way. So it's like you dig down and down and down. You know, you're gonna have to siphon out a bunch of lava. You know, we're trying to get down in the middle. You know, we want to see what happens. You get down, you dig all this earth out. You've got down about 8,000, no, 4,000 miles, I guess is what you know. And it's like there's nothing on top of you. You've dug all that shit out of the way. So you get down there like 4,000 miles down, and that, you know, you siphoned all the lava out. And you're standing there, and it's like there's nothing pressing on you at that point. But it's just the sheer gravity. Just it turns you to lava. Just get lavafied. It's the gravity got him. It's just gravity. You just get lavaed. You know what I mean? There's nothing. There we go. It's all reconnect. I'm like, no, just stay connected. Don't disconnect. All right. So yeah, when you get lavaed, did you guys catch that or did that get cut off? So you dig down 4,000 miles down, you get all the dirt and all the lava out of the way. You're down there, standing down there 4,000 miles down below the surface of the earth, and there's nothing on top of you, but you just get crushed by gravity. It's like lava because it's just so intense. Just the gravity got them. That's why nobody can dig past that point because they turn to lava. So you'll never really fall up. That's like what we used to do when we were kids, you know. We're gonna dig a hole to China or whatever, you know. And then we'd play around and joke about like, well, I wonder when we're gonna start falling up, or you know, or falling down, but then we'll be going up, or like that's the thing. If nobody's upside down, then how do you figure? Like if we were to just drop all the way through the earth to the other side, of course we'd be upside down. Come on, it's just so silly. Silly idea. It's like we're gonna imagine something that's just so big and so larger than life. There's no way anybody can really see it. You know, you can't like. But we're just gonna assume that it's true. That you can keep making bigger circles on the ground, bigger circles on the ground. Then once you get halfway across the earth, all of a sudden your circles are gonna start to get smaller somehow. Even though you're just doing the same thing, circling around the outside of your last circle, now you're making smaller circles around the outside of your last circle somehow. Somehow. It doesn't have to make sense. You just have to know that you live on a globe. But then you're not even circling the same space anymore. Like you're circling a whole different area. You end up in a whole different part of the world with a whole different circle. Where in reality, if you just started making circles around the outside of a piece of property and just keep doing it, the property is always going to be in the middle. You're never going to reach a point where you're circling a whole different area. That's not possible. That doesn't make any sense. You're never going to make a bigger circle around a smaller circle around a bigger area. That's not possible. That's not how like property works. Like area within a perimeter. Like your perimeter just keeps getting bigger. You're never gonna never gonna see a case where you've gotten so much area inside your perimeter that now you're gonna make a smaller perimeter next time you go around it. That doesn't make sense. That's not how property works. You buy more property, you got a bigger property line. That's all there is to it. There's nothing else to think about. You buy more property, your property line's bigger. Doesn't matter how much of it is, because things scale. You know, you got to think about this. It's like if I just had like a circumference of like 10 feet, and I owned all the property inside that 10 feet circle. 10, let's say a diameter of 10 feet. Let's say that. So I own all the area within that circle that's got a diameter of 10 feet. That's my area that I own. That's my property. Now, if I wanted to add more property to that, and I went and made a bigger circle around that 10-foot diameter size circle, so now it's got a 12-foot diameter, so it's a bigger circle. I have more area within it. That's all really logical. It makes perfect sense. So now just scale that out. Let's say that instead of a 10-foot diameter, now it's got a fucking 12,500 foot diameter. You know, it's like the same thing's going to happen when you step outside of that circle and you make it into a 13,000 foot diameter circle. It's going to be a bigger fucking circle. You're never going to draw a smaller circle around the outside of your property. That doesn't happen. It's not, I don't care how big of a circle it is, it scales out. I mean, if you can't do it on a small scale, you're not going to be able to do it on a bigger scale. Like, I understand what the Globers want you to think. It's like, You're basically working in a small area, so it seems flat or whatever. But you just have to think about the logistics of like property. Like think of it as like it's property, like it's an area that you own. Let's say you own the entire northern hemisphere. That would make the equator your property line. It's going around your entire property, the northern hemisphere. You own all of it. So now you want to keep buying more property. So theoretically, you should have a bigger property line, right? Well, yeah, you bought more property. There's more space inside your property line. So you have more property to encircle. So you're going to have a bigger property line. Well, but you step south of the equator is the biggest circle you're going to make. What, so you own the whole world? No, but it's, you move outside of the equator because you own the whole entire northern hemisphere. Now you're going to buy more property. You're just going to add to the property you already had. So you walk, make another circle around the equator on the outside of it, on the southern side of it. But it's a smaller measurement. Do you still have all that property that you had before that inside that circle? How did you fit more property in a smaller circle? Oh, well, now that circle is actually going around a different area. So you lost all that property that you had before that? Well, technically, yeah. Well, how in the fuck does that make any sense? It doesn't. Because you can't put more space in a smaller circle. So that circle that you're talking about there after you move south of the equator, that's circling a different area. That's circling the southern hemisphere area. So all of a sudden you lost all that property that you had that was the northern hemisphere because now your circle is going around a whole different area. And it's smaller. Sorry, I know I'm redundant, but like I feel like if I just say this enough times, it'll eventually click in someone's mind and be like, oh yeah, the Earth's flat, isn't it? Whoa, I never thought about that. That's the problem. People just don't think about it, you know? All I gotta do is think. Just gotta think about what I'm saying here. It doesn't matter what the stuff in the sky is doing. I do understand there's models that have been created that call for certain things and whatever with the sky, but I'm just talking about like just logistically. Let's talk about the property that you own on the ground. It's going to have a perimeter around the outside of it. You're never going to be able to buy more property and have a smaller perimeter. No, that doesn't make sense. It's not what you would ever see. I don't care how big or small we're talking. It's always going to be a bigger area to circle that equals bigger perimeter. You're never going to have more property with a smaller perimeter. That's not what you're going to see in reality. Granted, if you lived on a globe, you could make that work. Yeah, you could. That's what would have to happen, I guess. But it's ridiculous. We don't live on a globe. I mean, that's the thing that sucks about this is that it just comes down to it where it's like, well, if everything they say is true, then it's true. Well, yeah, no shit. If everything they say is true, then it's true. Well, you really got a great point going there. Once upon a bit, space and time, you can curve in a straight line, put a dumb idea in your mind and think it's true. There are people cause it's not true at all. The earth is flat, it's not a ball. Thought they all were kidding you. You used to laugh about everything we were talking school, but you know they never really taught you anything true in it. No one ever taught you how to go out and think anything for yourself. You just got used to it. Now you seem to be compromised as you look at the alleged vacuum of the sky. And you think to yourself, how do I know if that's even real? Oh, how does it feel? Yeah, how does it feel? Find out that your home is a completely different story to be told. And it's safe here under the dome. It's the stationary snow. It's not rolling anywhere. But you never turn around to see the frowns on the Neil deGrasse clowns when they played their little tricks on you. You never understood, it really ain't no good. You shouldn't let people like that tell you what the fuck is true. So you think you can take heaven from hell? Blue skies and pain. How can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail? A smile from a veil. You think you can tell like the country Floyd. Good old country Floyd. Terry, Terry and Jenny Winkleman. I like that. Right on. Terry and Jenny. What are we talking about? Coke. Coca-Cola? All the money on the plane. You want to know what I want to know? What I want to know is who put all these motherfucking snakes on this plane? Gotta get rid of them. Put all the snakes on this motherfucking plane. All these slithering little serpents in their slithery sliding scales, underbellies. Sliding scale of their underbellies, slithering serpents slithering through this plane of existence that we exist on. It's this existence and I insist it's persistent. It's a persistent existence that existence, an infinite system of existing. It's an infinite system we exist in. We exist in an infinite system. It's that which you cannot fence in. It's an infinite system. It just keeps on expanding. There's no fucking end and no beginning. It's an infinite system in which we exist in. It's that which you cannot fence in. You can't put a border around it because it's infinite in all its greatness. Wait, this is just a concept. It's a construct. Maybe we're stuck in the confine. Confound it. Oh, just right before your eyes, you can see your immediate reality. And you can tell me what you think is happening. There's just one man before you standing there. That's me. But a little do you know, there's more than that just going on. In my mind, there's a song. There's two people talking to each other. Neither of them agree. They've been bickering my whole life. One guy says something, the other one disagrees. I look at these two personalities and I say, well, that's pretty interesting. Now it's got to the point where I understand both points that the personalities are both making. I've been taking my time pondering what this means, like I'm just a third observer to these two personalities inside my mind, listening quietly and carefully analyzing. And finally I just walk away and roll my eyes at both these wise guys. All of this is happening in my head. Oh, my head is getting dizzy now. Standing up is kinda tricky now. I think I'm breaking down. Situations getting sticky now. My head is getting dizzy now. Standing up is kinda tricky now. I think I'm breaking down. The situation's getting sticky now. Take your expectations and throw all of them out the window. You're not getting it. You can take and make your bed and lay in it. You're on your own. You're full grown. Take your expectations and your aspirations and your hope and write a note. Cast it into the just wrong. That's the name of the song. You can sing along if you like. You're never gonna learn anything till you take your fingers out your ears and start listening. Take your fingers out your ears, stop singing la 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 la. Standing up is kinda tricky. I think I'm breaking. The situation's gotten sticky now, sticky now, and it feels like someone's tearing down something I have built. It feels like someone's tearing down something I have built. It feels like someone's tearing down something I have built. Feels like someone's tearing down something I have built. As your head keeps spinning, 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 out of control, spinning, spinning. Yes, your head is spinning till it spins. Till it spins and unscrews, falls off your shoulders, starts rolling down the road. Look at your head go, rolling down the road. It keeps rolling into town, rolling further down, down to the beach, rolling further out of reach, down into the undertow. Look at your head go, there it goes, down into the big drink, where all water sinks down to its own level, sinking and rolling get shot down for. Wonder how they do it up when they burn it down. Get out, Mr. Lot. Don't you look around. Oh, don't you look around. Somebody from the sky. I heard a voice inside my head in the desert wind so dry. In a desert wind so dry. I heard a voice telling me to flee. The very voice that I believe. Said a lot of trouble's coming and don't have to run to you. Telling you so you can tell the rest what you went through. Tell the rest what you went through. 'Cause you're a good upstanding man, credit to the Father. But if you don't face straight ahead, you might not take the shock. Oh, you might not take the shock. Don't look around. Don't look after you. It's not your business how it's done. You're lucky to get through. You're just lucky to get through. Tell the rest what you went through. They blew the city off the map, left nothing there but fire. The wife and I got turned to song because she looked behind her. Because she looked behind her. Because she looked behind her. Dripping with sweat, man. It's hotter than it looks. It's hotter than it feels. That one is from the Old Testament right there. Right, that one. Oh, phone call here. Let's see what's going on. Sorry about that. Flatties. I gotta go run handle something real quick. I'll be right back. Is that a pleasant enough view? If there's nothing better to do, hang out because I'll be back to entertain. Just about 3 minutes. barefoot. Shit. Hold up, I gotta text somebody from my phone real quick. Sorry about that. What's going on here? Come on. Come on. Sorry about that. Flat stuff, earth, right off to see you in my house here. In my saloon. Hercules. What's up, Sir Fev? Sir Fev. Sir Fev 2010. Oh, dripping with sweat. It's so fucking hot here today. It's been like muggy as fuck. It's the heat wave. It's the fucking climate change, man. The climate change got me. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of it I'm just goofing off too. And some of the stuff I do, I really put a lot of time into. You know, it might just seem like I'm goofing off a lot of the time, which I am. But there's some stuff that I do that I really put a lot of thought into. Like if you were to break down one of my songs that I'd really worked on, or if you were to have me break it down, I might do that sometime. I might just break down and explain why I've done the song the way I do it, because it's deep. A lot of times you wouldn't catch it unless somebody told you. Like I'll have lyrics that tie into certain things, or just the way the song is structured musically, like the lyrics will fit in with it. You know, I mean, I go through the trouble to like make it sort of trippy like that, where it's like if you actually sat and paid really close attention, you would see there's shit buried in there and it's all tied together in ways that you wouldn't have noticed. But you do notice because it's flowing in a way that's pleasant, that pleases you, but you don't realize what's going on. I'm programming your mind. Hose right here, and I'm about to do something with this here hose. Put it on shower mode. Oh yes, oh it's so good. Oh, I needed that. Oh, thank you. You know what's kind of cool? If you're gonna water the land that you live on, you gotta live on a land. You gotta water that land that you live upon. Well, they got a setting for that right there. Can you read that? Oh. There's a setting. Read the setting. Ah, you can't read it. It says flat. For fuck's sake. Oh, yeah, flat, baby, flat. Give it to me, flat. Oh, that's so good. Oh, flat. I love it, baby. Oh, so flat, so good. Never thought I'd be saying something that silly. Got my cigarette all wet, all being all crazy. Funny thing about fire, though, it dries that shit right out. One thing that's been nice lately is that there haven't been a bunch of chemtrails, because I hate when it's fucking hot and muggy and they're spraying the sky to boot. That shit pisses me off something fierce. Is my phone dying now? What the fuck? It's always something. For fuck's sake already. I'm about to relocate towards a power supply. Oh, I'm going barefoot. I'm trying to do that a lot lately because my shoes suck. I need to get new shoes, but just because you get grounded that way, you're in touch with your environment. I don't know if you call it grounded. Actually, you're grounded if you're wearing rubber soles, I guess. But you want to get some of that energy from that negative charge, I guess, or whatever it is inside the earth. It's not neutral. I'll be right back. I got to turn the switch on real quick. Less than a minute. Fuck me, what am I going to do now then? I'm running into some issues here with my. I was gonna have to plug my phone in because it's about to die. Now I can't get power to where I usually get it because the AC is plugged in up here and it took up that plug that I was using. So now I gotta figure something else out here. See what I'll do. Pull this sucker down here. Oh no, that's the one it's plugged into. It's not gonna work. What am I thinking? Okay, fuck me. I'll figure this out.
Creative mode again. Build something great this time.
Well, we got this, guys.
Let's see, maybe I can just go plug in out there on the deck.
All right, get to work, everybody.
All right, guys. I say we all just build one part of a connected. So I'll build mine in the middle.
All right, this ought to work. I think, hopefully. What a pain in the butt. Let's see here. Stick that sucker in right there. These work. Let's see, we got any juice. Give me some juice. Oh yeah, it's working. That's good. Happy ending. I didn't want to have to play till the wheels fall off. I'm just sitting here watching the wheels fall off. I really love to watch it burn. No longer riding on the merry-go-round. I just had to let it go. People say I'm crazy. Don't know what I'm doing. Well, they give me all kinds of advice. Try to save me from ruin. People say you must not be happy now. You're no longer on the ball. But I'm just fine staring at shadows on the wall. I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. I really love to watch them roll. No longer riding on the merry-go-round. I just had to let it go. Rich man, step on my poor head. Oh, when you get back, you better butter my bread. Wow. Got a letter this morning, baby. And it read, you better get back to Tennessee, Jet. Sorry, getting caught off on a tangent there. Who else is in here? Kevin Monroe, Trump or Biden? Neither. Big fan of Roblox? Right on. Yeah, my boy's all into that shit. Trump or Biden? If that was any kind of indication as to how fucked off things are. Like 63% of the voting population says no to Trump. 63% of the entire voting population says no to Biden. So that tells you that more than half the people that vote want neither of them. So it's kind of like This is a government by the people. You get to choose who you put in there. So here's our two choices. Here, choose one of them. Fuck you. We don't want either one of those. One guy's fucking can't even talk. The other guy's so full of himself. It's just like, give me a break. He thinks it's a TV show. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. You vote for either one of those people? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that you did that. I'm sorry that you feel like you have to. There should be a none of the above box that we can all check, because then we could send a message. It's not that I don't want to vote necessarily, although I don't vote. I don't need a leader, and you shouldn't need a leader either. Put me through the test. I said, put me through the test, please. I don't sneak around, but I wear sneakers. I don't beat wives, but I wear wife beaters. I don't eat Z-bugs, but I'd eat an anteater. That would make me an anteater. Put me through the test. I said, put me through the test. I'll leave time for you on your parking meter. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. You shouldn't need a leader either. Okay, I don't beat wives, but I wear wife beaters. Who stole my car stereo and speakers? Tweakers. This is out of tune. Well, it's a 9-mile walk from the office to the house. Sometimes you think you're gonna drop, and you're filthy, dirty, ornery, and pissed off. And before you can leave, you gotta sweep the fucking shop. It's a real bitch to be working for the man. Should I do the best? What the fuck? Have you just scrubbing dishes at some motherfucking job? Well, it's all same to me, just busting ass to make a buck. Read 'em up, Instagram. And it's a piss poor life where the ladies buy you up and check their oil fun. No one wants a loser who works for 5 an hour, smells like gas, works in the rain, rude as hell. Yes, and I can fix the tire like Hurricane Melinda. Don't know exactly what it's worth. I don't choose to help you, don't look like you expected. It's a gift that God gave you. Too hot out here to do this shit. It's too fucking hot. Sweating. Stand in my waiting pool. Oh, feels good. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. Is this called crack pop? Yeah, that's right. No Freebird again? You don't want to hear Freebird? It's as free as a bird flu jab, and it comes with a 50% discount on your grocery tab. Yeah, it's the best deal you've ever had. Yeah, get your free bird flu jab. mRNA. Get your mRNA. Come on, you can get it every day. We got in all kinds of different shapes and sizes and flavors. You can have your mRNA nasal spray. You have your mRNA poultry. You have your mRNA beef. You got your mRNA shingles. You got your mRNA flu jabs. We can just give you jiggers of formaldehyde to go with that. Get some mRNA shots. You got some mRNA eye drops. Get your mRNA. Get it while it's good. Get it while it's got spikes, while it's spitting spikes. You gotta get it just in case. And don't you worry about those adverse events, 'cause those are super rare and probably won't happen to you. So you better just go do what we say to be safe, just in case. Don't you worry about that Bell's palsy. That's just part of you getting safe. Besides, you are covering your face anyway, and you are not around anyone, so nobody will know. It's okay, it's nothing to be ashamed of. At least you're safe, just in case. Don't you worry about that newscaster who fell over backwards on his ass and died. That was just a case of SADS. And you know that SADS is out there and it's coming to get you, so you better do what we say. Just in case. Just in case, just in case. You gotta do all these things to be safe. And you can never be too safe. You can never be too afraid. Why don't you want to be safe, just in case? You better swallow your defiance and follow the science. Just in case. Oh, just in case. It's all about just in case. You gotta get 40 vaccines just in case. Just in case. You gotta get this one too, just in case. We need more arms. Yep. We need more arms. Okay. To roll up their sleeves. We need more arms. Okay. Protect you from disease. We need more arms. Yep. That's what we need. We need more arms. Please. They want to fix what ain't broken, to protect you from something that doesn't exist. They want to fix what ain't broken, to protect you from something that doesn't exist. We need more arms. We need more arms. Oh yeah. We need more arms. That's what we need. We need more arms. They want to fix what ain't broken, to protect you from something that doesn't exist. They want to fix what ain't broken, to protect you from something that doesn't exist. They want to fix what ain't broken, to protect you from something that doesn't exist. They want to fix what ain't broken, to protect you from something that doesn't exist. We need more arms to roll up your sleeves. We need more arms. Protect you from disease. We need more arms. That's what we need. We need more arms. Please. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm getting sweat in my eyes. I'm bad, huh? Well, show me how it's done. Biatch. I'll go to your channel, see how good you are. You must be really good if you go around telling people they suck. You must be so good. You know why I suck? Because I got a sock on my tuners. It's just like a style that I have to have. Just kidding. It keeps them from buzzing. I make all these buzzy noises because I suck at keeping them not buzzing. I can't go to the channel. That's stupid. I used to be able to go to people's channels. I guess I can't while I'm streaming, maybe. Who's calling me? Oh, the lady's calling me. Oh, sorry, honey. I'll have to call you back. I gotta finish up my show real quick. What should I do for a closer here? Let's see. What would impress this super critical person in my chat? I can impress you. Just you wait and see. You'll be impressed when I'm done with you. Falling down from the sky, brought a tear to my eye. So I walked on outside, and watched as the clouds slid away to the sky. It was a perfect blue sky. Teardrops and raindrops, this day has begun. Behind every dark cloud always waits the sun. Has it been said, so shall it be done. If it was over before it begun, well, you know that I loved you with all of my heart. If it was over before it could start, well, it's easy to say and it's harder to see. But some things have to be believed to be seen. Some things have to be believed to be seen. Believed to be seen. directions are slow. Got nowhere to run, I got nowhere to go, and I'm going alone. So I sing you this song, you'll sing along, 'cause you wrote it for me to sing back to you. Now that I do, there's still no sign of you. Where did you go and disappear off to? Maybe someday I will see your face again. Until then, here I am, alone. And it's easy to see where we've landed at last. And it's easy to know who was the fastest. And harder to say as it is to believe. Some things have to be believed to be seen. Some things have to be believed to be seen. Believed to be seen. I woke up today to the sound of the rain falling down from the sky. Ooh. Sorry, I forgot the words of that song. I was trying to think of stuff to say in the moment. Rags to riches, to riches, to rags. Rags to riches, to riches, to rags. Rags to riches, to riches, to rags. The quickest to brag gets a pat on his back. The quickest to pat the back that got rich quick gets the benefit. With nothing but half of the full spectrum, positively pure potential gets neglected and rejected while cobwebs collected. I get affected, but I still will fly. Open your face, I'm high. How are you hung up? Found to be visibly bone dry. Your fixations are evasive. In the end, they just get lost in a stream of like-minded bad ideas that just run off the solid matter of fact. Down into the big drink where all water sinks to its own level, way below the notion of my musical emotion that can sit there in the air above your ocean of despair, where collective cynicism, negative organisms are swimming in them, red-eyed, ripping them up and spitting them out to spare me from the glare. I'm aware you're down there, you're just ambivalent, but living it blatantly benign, green-eyed, defunct, punked. Oh, well, floating is better than being sunk. Oh, yeah, it's better than being sunk. I said rags to riches, to riches, to rags. Yeah, rags to riches, to riches, to rags. The quickest to brag gets a pat on his back, and the quick gets to pat the back. The cat rich quick gets a benefit. No shit, that's what you get. I shit you not. That's what you got. It's a cheap shot, yeah, rags. Riches. Which is it going to be? All right, I gotta go. I gotta call my lady. Thanks for watching my show.